Okay, this is Sean Perry with VintageRock.com. I'm sitting here, I'm not sitting, I'm standing here with possibly the best dressed man here at NAMM today,
You're
Tony Levin.
You're a little
yeah,
underdressed.
I am.
You
Tony,
didn't get the memo.
No, I did.
It's like suit day. Nobody got the memo but me. I guess I didn't send out.
Yeah, well, apparently no one else did either.
Yeah.
At any rate, Tony has played with everybody. I mean, he's a member of King Crimson. Peter Gabriel's played with everybody from John Lennon to Cher to Alice Cooper.
Levin
Everybody.
Brothers.
Yeah, and the Levin brothers, who he was playing on set here with today. But yeah, you're here at NAMM. NS Design. Tell me about your involvement with them.
I've been playing the NS bass for a long time, really long time, and I played in a lot of contexts. I play with Peter Gabriel. I play jazz on it when I get to do jazz, and I play the cello too. And it's rare that I can say that an instrument inspired me to do an album. But as I practiced the cello more, I started hearkening back to the music I grew up with when my brother and I were kids growing up in Boston in the days of what's called cool jazz of the 50s, with simple jazz, with melodic stuff with short solos. And Oscar Pettiford, the great bass player, also took cello solos. And I thought, what if we wrote music in that style? And I finally did an album with my brother after we've both been God knows how many years in the industry making separate albums. So that was the genesis of that project, and I really think it's special that it was inspired somewhat by the sound of the NS cello, but the bass obviously sounds also great to me. I played it on quite a few albums, and they're great instruments.
Now, are you involved in the design of these instruments at all?
No. Yeah, no? Ned designs it, and I play it. I'm involved in the playing of it, and I play a lot of instruments. I can't say that I really try every instrument that's out there, but when an instrument comes to me that's going to be really useful for the kind of recording and playing live that I do, like Peter Gabriel's a great example. We really love a lot of fat bottom, but also distinctive sound and something that cuts through. When I find the right instrument, I'm not about to separate myself from it. I like that. Makes my job more fun and more interesting.
Absolutely, and I did see you play this with King Crimson when you guys toured last year.
You saw me play the upright bass, the NS bass. I did not play the cello. We got it with 7 guys. The last thing we needed was another instrument. If the chance comes up in the future to play the cello with King Crimson, I will. But no, I haven't played the cello much on Peter Gabriel's tour. A few tours back, there was one piece that had a string track playing, and I played cello on it. But pretty much, it's the bass I mostly play live. And of course, when I tour with my brother, the Levin Brothers Jazz Touring, we'll do this spring in the East Coast. I'll be playing both cello and bass.
Now, is it just going to be the two of you when you play out?
No, that's just for NAMM. No, we got a great sax player and a great drummer. Yeah, we're a good jazz band.
Excellent. And you said you're going to do some East Coast dates. Anything out here?
No, this time we can't come out. I have a lot of commitments with King Crimson, with Stickman, the band I'm in, and we were lucky we were able to squeeze in the East Coast. We'll play Boston, New York, Philadelphia, places like that.
Now, you mentioned King Crimson. What's going on with them? I know you just came out with a live album from your shows in the Orpheum. I just picked it up.
Yeah? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. I haven't heard it.
It is.
Good.
I
know I took the picture that's on the cover, which is just the front marquee of the theater.
Right. So what's going on with that band?
We're talking about and really planning to tour next fall again. Looks like not in the U.S. Looks like other places, Europe. It's kind of silly to say at this point because things can change, but just generally Europe plus more. And I don't know exactly yet. When they get confirmed, I'll know, but no point in publishing it before that. But I'm thrilled that King Crimson is back doing stuff. Doubly thrilled that I'm in it. Although as a fan of the band, I would be happy even if I wasn't in it. It seems like every year we're going to do not the whole year, but the fall, or at least a part of the fall. And it is on the table, the possibility that we'll come up with some new music and maybe eventually a new album. That would be great.
Yeah, that would. Now, of course, you've been in and out of the band for well over 30 years. And this is a different version. I mean, how would you compare this version to previous versions you've been with?
It's very different. I don't want to go on all day about King Crimson. King Crimson, mainly through the inspiration of Robert Fripp, the founder, doesn't do things the way other bands do, and he tries to do things the right way, the way he thinks is the right way. So there have been many different incarnations, and each one does not try to copy the ones before. I know I've been in it since 1981, and they've been very different. And this one, when he asked me to do it, I said, yeah, what's the deal? And he said, well, there are going to be 3 drummers. And I said, okay, and how many bass players? Only 1 bass player, or last time there were 2, last time in the 90s. And And that's what it is. And Mel Collins, the great sax player who was in King Crimson before I even joined it in the 70s, is in it again. And a wonderful Jacko Jackics, a wonderful guitar player singer. And that's what it is, and very creatively and interesting and different. The drummers are all in the front row on the stage. They're the show, and then the four of us are on a riser behind them. And it's quite interesting. And the drummers, whom Robert, his only instructions to them were reinvent rock drumming. That's all he had to say to the drummers. And then they spent all of last year trying to reinvent rock drumming, and they did a good job of coming up with very creative ways to have three drummers play in a lot of different ways that aren't just bashing. There's never even two of them bashing the same part. So for me as a bass player, it's an honor, and it's a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you, is it a challenge to play with three drummers? Do you have to change your playing at all? Or
King Crimson is always a big challenge, not only to keep up, but that's the band where, okay, it's time to really push forward with my own playing and find other ways to do things for myself. Other bands, I don't have time for that, or, you know, King Crimson will give ourselves the rehearsal time, 4 or 5 weeks if we need it, to really find the next place to go. So it's a challenge for sure. In addition, three drummers, I was expecting it to be really hard. But because of the creative parts they came up with, in fact, it was very easy. In fact, surprisingly to me, I found myself playing more bass notes than I usually do, not to mention that I expected to have to play it very little to leave all this room. Somehow they do it, it's very creative, but they don't take up a lot of space. Well, they take up some space, but not all of the space. So it's wonderful. It turned out wonderful. It turned out that aspect of it was not hard. So we play a lot of the old repertoire, reinvented, and that's hard, because I'm playing just awesomely famous bass lines by John Wetton and things like that, and I want to capture something new that's something of me, but I don't want to lose what's really special about that part. So that's a good challenge. It's a challenge, but it's a good one. That's the kind of stuff you want to be working at.
And you still make music with, like, Adrian Belew. Haven't you guys played some gigs here in recent years?
Absolutely. We toured so much as the Crimson Project in the last 2 years. That's the thing I toured most with, actually. And the Crimson Project is Adrian Belew's Power Trio plus Stickmen, which is a trio of me and Pat Mastelotto of King Crimson and Marcus Reuter, a touch guitar player from Germany. And Stickman tours a lot, Adrian tours a lot, and we team up as what we call Crimson Project. We do each of our sets, plus we do a lot of King Crimson pieces, so that's fun, and we tour a lot, and we love it. We have a good time.
Excellent. And of course, your other big gig is with Peter Gabriel. Anything going on that front?
I just finished touring with him in December. We toured a bit this year, 2 different tours, both in Europe. No plans for next year that I've heard of. Again, you never know ahead of time. And nothing feels more foolish as a rock player than to see it in print when you say you're touring in June and then you're not touring in June. So I don't really know, but I know there's no talk of a tour at this point.
Fantastic. And the Levin Brothers CD, how can we get that?
TheLevinBrothers.com, TonyLevin.com, iTunes, Amazon, you know, the usual. And I'm very happy that this being sort of a bucket list kind of album for me to harken back to playing with my brother and the music we grew up with. We're going to be doing plenty of albums and tours in the future, but also I thought this is the time to do that vinyl record that I always want to, if it's good music, I always want to release it in vinyl, and this is the time. So we also have a vinyl release, which is kind of nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, well, anything else to add?
No, thanks very much for spending your time hearing me blab about these things, and I'm proud to have made this kind of nice jazz record this year, and I'm proud to be playing the NS cello and bass, and thank you for your time.
You got it. All right, well, this is Sean Perry with Vintage Rock with Tony Levin at NAMM 2015. Thank you very much.